I'm just waiting for it to explode. Just holding my breath. So it's Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's where you can find us. It's Pat and JT. Or 402-403-9478 if you want to text us.
Which I was just doing as we were starting. I'm like sitting there.
You were texting us?
Like, whoops, I was texting.
Oh.
Just texting, then realized, there's a camera.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm texting too. I'm actually reading a text from, I believe, LJ.
Yeah.
And it has to do with what we said yesterday. We were talking to Nick, and he looked up the Justin Bieber at Westroads Mall video and Omaha Mall. I forgot about the song Omaha Mall.
I don't remember that.
Well, you'll never forget it if you hear it. And LJ said,
"Can you bring that up at all?" You can't play it, probably can't.
No,
Oops,
that's
sorry.
too. Who do you think I am, an IT person? It says, "Dude, now I have Omaha Mall on repeat in my head. My YouTube algorithm is so messed up forever." She's not a Beeb believer. I forgot about Omaha Mall. So anyway, that link to that video is in our description from yesterday's episode.
And you know how appropriate it is that we talk about that right now, considering the guests we're going to have on our Facebook Live today?
Yeah.
Seriously, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe you. Let's...
I feel like you're not in the same conversation.
I am. Okay. I'm not, because I realized there was a tech thing wrong. I think I fixed it, though. Now, rewind. Say that again.
Do you realize how cool, whatever.
How ironic it is that we have somebody...
who we have on the show today when we were talking about Justin Bieber starting his career and doing the mall tour, like the Tiffany's of the day. Mm-hmm. And who else were we talking about that we had the Omaha thing on?
Tiffany, Debbie Gibson. My favorite of all time was, I can't remember
Why did we
his name
get on
now.
that? Was it because of Britney?
Yeah, I was just talking to Nick about mall tours. He'd never heard of mall tours. And, Jamie, what was his name? He was on the show called The Heights. Anyway, we could bring our guest on and he probably knows.
Let's do that.
Okay, so let's try to be super fancy and play the intro to his podcast, which we've had him on before. He was in town for Sweet Stock.
Cool.
It's the Hollywood Raw podcast with Dax Holt and Adam Gunn. Let's try this.
What?
Fancy is that?
It almost looks like you know what you're doing.
I don't. Holy cow. That is...
That's like, now can we get him in here?
Oh, I don't know. There we go. Dax
Oh, my
Holt.
God. There he is.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing great. And so far, so good. Nothing has blown up. He hasn't driven it in the ditch.
Yeah, nothing yet.
We're doing good. We got our green screens are up. Our lights are on.
Right when I first saw it, I was like, dang, Jill, look at that house. Mm-hmm. And then I saw you move. I was like, green screen.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, the boss walked in. He was like, wow, you got a really fancy living room.
I'm paying you too much.
Right? Pretty slick.
So do you remember the days of the mall tours with the one-off, one-hit wonders would go and perform in malls for 2 or 3 songs and then they'd head out?
Yeah. I mean, that was like Tiffany time, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, Tiffany, Britney, Debbie Gibson, probably the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
But Bieber did it too.
A little bit before. I was going to say, I remember it with Bieber because he was like, the first time I covered him on TMZ, he was at the City Walk in Universal Studios area. And really? I remember him going and there just being like thousands of kids and Pat photos came in. I was like, who is this guy? Like, I've never heard of this kid ever in my life. And he's bringing in thousands of people to the Universal City Walk. So that was literally the first story I covered on him on TMZ. And then obviously...
How old do you think he was then?
No, what was it, like 14? Something like that.
He looks all of 14 in that video. He did Omaha Mall. Like
Who was it that discovered him?
I don't know.
Scooter?
No.
Scooter Braun?
And Usher?
Usher.
Dax said who, the guy from TMZ said who it was. You go, no, that's not it.
It's not Scooter Braun. It was Usher. Because Usher got the credit for it because nobody knew who Scooter was then.
Correct.
There we
go.
Okay, thank you.
We'll bring it back around.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I don't know. Yeah, we were talking to Nick about that yesterday because he's at the age where he doesn't remember those at all. Okay, remember the show The Heights a long time ago?
He doesn't remember. No, it's not that he doesn't remember. He wasn't born yet for any of that.
Well, same thing. That's the details.
That's the thing. He doesn't remember malls.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? It's like when you mention the mall tour.
Wait, Amazon? What? I don't understand.
The mall?
There's an Amazon mall?
What's a mall?
Do you remember that show, The Heights, that was on Fox right after? It was like 90210, then The Heights came. It was like 1 year in and
I
out.
remember that. I do remember
I
that.
did not watch that though.
How Do You Talk to an Angel was like their
The
theme.
song.
The song, and it was the guy who sang it was Jamie something. Jamie, not Fox, not Kennedy. Anyway, so he was at a mall here, and it was in the time of the what are these, sideburns? So he was like the big sideburn guy.
Hold
So
on,
I
I
grew
gotta
my
put my glasses
sideburns.
on.
So when I met Jamie, whatever.
Oh, you did
Gotcha.
not.
I totally did. I have a picture somewhere at my parents' house of me and him, denim on denim, no big deal, the Nebraska tuxedo, and meeting Jamie, whatever. I'm going to look.
I can't find.
It's really hard to just imagine you with hair in general, let alone
Right.
sideburns.
Dude, Jamie Walters was his name.
You should see him when he has his creepy mustache goatee thing going on.
Yeah.
Or just the stash. Just the stash.
Yeah, I called my stash
Just
Darren.
a creepy.
Have you ever had just a stash, Dax?
I think I did it one time for like Movember, but that was kind of it.
How do you like it? Like, is that your vibe? I feel like it's not your vibe.
No, my wife hates it so much that it's really just 30 days of my wife bitching at me in November.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. Like, get rid of that. I don't want to kiss you. This is gross. Stop. Like, you look weird. You look like you have a van with no windows. Like, just get rid of it.
So when you're ready for a really, would it be a masochistic 30 days? It's like you feel like you deserve a beating. You just grow the mustache and let her. There
Grow
you go.
the mustache. Yeah.
Go ahead. Punish me, honey. Did you say his name,
So
Pat?
true.
Dax Holt?
No, Jamie Walters.
Yes, I did say Jamie Walters.
I found him and his MySpace page is still up.
Not a shock. That song was awesome though.
Wow. It was
a huge song.
Seriously was. That's crazy. Yeah, I clicked on it. I was afraid to, but I did.
Speaking of wives, quick wife story real quick. So my wife's a hard sleeper and can get right back to sleep if she does wake up. So I wake up at 3:30 this morning, get ready to go downstairs to my routine or whatever. And as I'm walking out of the room, I hear, "Hey, babe." I'm like, "Whoa," because she's never awake. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" She goes, "Oh, I'm just awake thinking about stuff." I'm like, "What?" She gets in like these things where she just starts thinking about a million things. And she went through this list of the things that she thought about the previous hour laying there. And I'm like, "Babe, you have got to send me a list of that." This is what she sent me, a list of everything she was obsessing about in the middle of the night. Costco, tikka masala, the new sofa, Addie, our cat's anus, Britney Spears, cleaning out the trash bin on Monday, cleaning the wood floors, tater tot casserole in the fridge, and will Sophia, my daughter, scoop out some even though it's not cooked yet and just still raw turkey. That was all going through her head.
Wow.
That's
Beth, you need to get some sleep, girl.
It was so funny.
Why was she worried about Costco?
Because we were still looking for a chair. And tikka masala is at Costco, and we love the Costco tikka masala.
Okay.
It all ties together.
And wait,
somewhere.
and did you say your cat's anus?
Yeah, Addie's had some issues where she's had some impactions lately. And
Need to be expressed.
Yeah.
But I like that Jill went first to Costco, not the cat anus story.
Because that's
That
weirder
was
to
more
me.
concerning to you that Costco was being thought about at 3 a.m, not
Yes.
the cat's butt.
Because I totally understand worrying about the cat's butt at 3 a.m.
That's a really good point.
Worry me. That would worry me. Costco doesn't worry me at 3 a.m. I just found out yesterday that because of a Costco membership, you can get money off on your next Chevrolet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good luck finding a Chevrolet.
Good luck finding one. But if you do, and you may and you're a member,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of memberships too, I don't know who posted this, but they did this in-depth study on whether or not it was worth it to have Amazon Prime. If you actually saved money by having it, because it's what, $120 a year. Mm-hmm. And they ordered, and he went through this list of all the reasons why you don't need it, because you get free shipping on a lot of things. Some things it takes a week. Some things does cost some money. He ended up spending about $30 on shipping. He said, yeah, and after looking at the analysis, blah, 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 and this last year I ordered 20 things. I ordered 19 last year. I'm like, dude, you are not even using your membership.
No.
If all you ordered was 20 things in a year.
20 this morning at 3 a.m. Like, what is he talking about?
Do you guys literally order
Right?
stuff almost every day on Amazon?
Probably.
Absolutely. Like, I don't even go to a store anymore. Like, why would I go to the store when it's going to be here by like 6 p.m. or it'll be here tomorrow?
100%.
Like, it's absolutely worth the $125 because Prime itself is incredible.
And that was the other thing. He says, Prime really, there's not much on there. I'm like, oh my God, you don't even deserve to have a membership.
Right? Who would even think that?
Nobody would think that. But you're right. Between groceries and just stuff and everything shows up.
It's perfect.
Why?
There's nothing better.
Not.
I'm like, you're going to spend more on gas money half the time to go to stores to pick stuff up now.
Speaking of which, how much is gas out there now? California.
I I don't know. I don't go to the gas station.
Oh, that's right. He has a Tesla. Fancy pants over there.
Oh, how much coal does it take to generate electricity for your Tesla?
It's super cheap.
It's super duper cheap.
Out here.
$0.00.
I heard it was like there in some places it was over $6. Somebody filled up and it was $148 or something like that.
Yeah. My wife asked me the other day, she's like, can you take my car and fill it up? I was like, babe, I don't sit in Costco gas lines anymore.
Oh, look at that. That's total hybrid flex.
She literally gave me the key. She was like, get out. Go do it.
Right? You're walking. Well, not just get out, go do it. Get out, you're walking. That's it.
That day that you got your Tesla and you had your mother-in-law in the car and you basically gave her whiplash by just gunning it. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize how fast they really are. My son's getting up and waving to me. Okay. They don't understand how fast they are, and so like literally you're driving and everyone that wants to test drive and you just touch the gas and it just flies, like your head flies back like you're on a roller coaster. It's so awesome.
It's got to be
hearing
weird.
the lady scream is so great.
Is it weird though because you don't get that satisfaction of hearing the engine rev, or does it just like?
Nope. When you blow past the cars with the engine, you're good to go.
That's right. I've never been an engine guy anyway. Like I don't like revvy engines, so I'd be all about just push it.
But it's like
silent.
I would think it all kind of goes together psychologically. Like you hit the gas, you have the sound and you have the feeling and you have the whole thing all goes together. And then if that was missing, I'd feel like I was out of gas, and I'd like hit the gas and be like, I don't hear anything. Yeah. Just
you gotta come out and try it. You'll appreciate it then. It's like you just go. You feel like you're rocket launching off.
I gotta know, since you have Tesla, then you might be open to this too. Do you do like the home tech stuff? Home tech, like the dots.
To a certain point, but I don't have like this full smart home like a lot of other people.
Right, and Amazon just came out with that Astro, the dog thing.
What?
Have you seen it?
Mm-mm. What's that?
No.
It like rolls around the house. I mean, it can go. I don't know if it can go get things. They call it Astro, like the Jetsons.
It looks like a little dog.
It looks like a little dog.
That's creepy.
And I'm like, basically, it sees everything in your house, in every room in your house. Which like you have the Roomba doesn't necessarily like
So
it
this is
sensors.
next level creeper Alexa.
Ooh.
Who's going to hack that? And then they'll see every exit and entrance in your house. They know where everything is put.
And on your body.
I was going to say, speaking of cat anus.
Seriously. I just saw one the other day and they were advertising it and I was too shocked by just the concept of it. I didn't even pay attention to what it actually does. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, no. I've got kids to go grab me stuff I don't need.
Right. That'll last for until they're about 14, and then that'll be over with. So use it as much as you can.
Yes.
Pat, I like your shirt, bud.
Yeah, you like that? I wore that today for the podcast. And
Look what I wore today.
Oh, what? It's a Hurrdat shirt.
Hurrdat shirt. I've got a Hollywood Raw shirt on.
That's awesome.
So speaking of your Hollywood Raw, you and Adam were in town. 4 weeks ago now? Almost a month ago. What did you think of being in Omaha for the first time?
No, I liked it. I mean, I kept telling everyone, because I met a lot of people at Sweet Stock just wandering through the crowd, and I was like, the city is so clean. Like, coming from LA, like, it's dirty out here, But I'm just, like, walking through the, like, downtown being like, everything's so clean, so pretty. Like, everyone's so nice and friendly.
Oh, my God, that's awesome. I love that. Somebody's first impression. And what did you think of Warren's house?
It was smaller than I thought it was. Like, I pictured this billionaire giant mansion, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big house, but here in LA, there's really big houses, like ridiculous houses, So I guess I pictured that, but it seemed like so just down to earth and quaint in a neighborhood, like billionaires here in LA, you're on a plot of land that's surrounded by a lot more land, so no one can be near you at all.
I actually have the video from my phone of when you and Adam, we drove by there the first time and you guys yelling out the window. Hold on, I'll show this real quick.
Oh, please do.
Here we go.
Oh, do you have it right there?
I have it right here. Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Ready?
okay.
Here we go.
I was thinking
the door's opening. Warren! That's right. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Just screaming at Warren Buffett's house.
Because he's not in a
Warren.
Yeah, it's like he's not in a gated community. You can pull right into his driveway, essentially. I mean, it's like, and everybody drives that street that's heading downtown. That's just a common.
So funny.
It's a regular.
The the thing that I was kind of surprised about is like the neighbor's house is more extravagant than his house is.
Isn't that crazy?
So I'm like, yeah, and this is like what what's the number like 9 now? Richest man in the world? Like that's so crazy.
Yeah. Did you get a chance? Well, next time when you come back, you'll have to have a chance to go take a tour of some of the other neighborhoods. Because there are some really big homes that are here in Omaha, and there are some older neighborhoods that are really, really cool, like his, where he is right now. But then there's also the McMansions that are in some of the other areas in town too. Yeah. So there are, but he's been in that house, like that's his first house, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe after his first million, I don't know. But whenever he bought it,
I mean, you gotta love the down to earth where you can afford anything you could possibly want, and you're like, this is good for me.
This is good. Yeah. This is okay. We're cool. Yeah.
He doesn't have a Tesla.
Oh, that's right. Okay, didn't he just sell his car?
20 of them.
No.
What? Right? Didn't he sell his car? Wasn't there a story about that he had like a 1970 something,
like a Buick Cutlass or whatever? But yeah, he just sold it. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, he just sold it, and it was like in mint condition.
Not surprising.
And I wouldn't even doubt he sold it. Did he sell it on Marketplace? I kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's on Facebook Marketplace just selling an old car.
Clearing out the garage.
It honestly would not surprise me if he did.
Right.
Yeah.
A little for sale sign outside of his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Just stop by. Free to a good home. Something like that. I don't know. So who's coming up on your show? What's rocking on your show? Because I'm not in the day-to-day of all this, so you got to tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so we just released an episode with Derek. So for people that love like the MTV challenges and all of the MTV like road rules and real kind of people, we had Derek on. And if you watch him, you know exactly who Derek is. But he was on like 10, 11 seasons of the challenge. He started with the road rules, but we just released that episode like 2 days ago. And he was really interesting because there's quite a fan base for the challenge. And he came on, talked about like his favorite place that he's ever been around the world, because they do these challenges everywhere, this competition show. And the one thing that I found the most fascinating is they don't get to enjoy this travel. They go there, they go to their base camp, and they film a show and they go home. So they, when we think about it, they're like, oh, they're in Thailand, they're in Australia, they're getting to enjoy this exotic location. They don't. They essentially are bunked up, film the show, get on a plane, go home. So he's like, yeah, my passport is full. I've been around the world, haven't seen any of it though. I haven't seen the culture. I haven't seen the nightlife. I haven't seen any of it, which is shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking.
That's like that's almost sad.
Yeah.
It's like
teasing you.
Really?
Yeah, like going to all these airports all over the place, basically, and not being able to leave. It's like, well, I was at wherever, but I couldn't leave, couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
and
cool.
then Adam asked him a really good question just about steroid use in general, because it's a competition show, and when you've watched some of these players over the years, 10, 12, 14 years of them doing the show, they've changed a lot in physique. And Adam's like, so is there testing for steroids? And Derek got really uneasy during this question. He was like, well, they don't test. And he's like, I don't, but you start to question with some of the other people, and, so I think he very much alluded to that might be the case with other people, not with him, but it seems like maybe some others do.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't want to be a snitch.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be a snitch.
Nope, didn't want to be a snitch. Did not want to do it. That's a good one. So of all your shows that you've done so far, how many episodes does he have so far? You guys have?
Oh gosh, 86 in season 2. Yeah, so 86 since last fall.
Yeah. So just as a observer question, what was the most uncomfortable interview you've ever done?
Probably Perez Hilton.
Oh gosh. And
I would say that because I expected more from Perez. Like, I was really excited to have him on. I feel like Perez's website was so massive when TMZ was launching, and so I was just excited to have him on, excited to hear his stories, and I felt like he didn't give us much. I felt like we were prying, and he's always been such an open person, at least that's what I thought. And I didn't get much out of him, and I kind of left the interview like, what the hell? Like, Perez Hilton is supposed to be like open, talk about anything, and it wasn't my favorite episode.
That's interesting. I just recently saw part of an interview with him, and they were asking him about if he had any regrets about the things he wrote about people, and if he felt at all responsible for any of the reactions to Britney Spears in particular, because he was really hard on her. And he was really hard on a lot of people. And remember, he used to draw on the pictures on the photos, and he'd draw on them and say awful things. And he's like, things, nobody's ever going to forgive me. He says, why should I? I don't regret it. Nobody's ever going to forgive me because I said those things or I did those things. And it's like, oh, okay. But I'm just like, 20 years ago, things were different.
Way
people
different.
Get that.
Yeah.
But I think looking back on it, you'd think that there'd be some, I wish I would have had a little more foresight or, but.
Well, I've kind of heard, I've heard him kind of say both, that he is remorseful and that he did change his sight around a lot. I mean, he was very, very cruel to a lot of celebs, and a lot of celebs turned their backs on him. And then he kind of had this like, come to Jesus and said, oh no, I'm doing the wrong thing, and changed it up. So I think there is a level of remorse. I mean, I think a lot of his shame also came with like his weight and stuff like that it was a lot of self-loathing that kind of came outwards, and he acknowledged that. But do
you think like
move on
when he had his kids? That changed
was big.
A lot, right?
That was huge.
Yeah.
When he had kids, I think it changed his perspective on life a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never asked you this before, but who's the most famous person you have your phone number in your contacts? I know you guys always ask people that on the show.
That's a good question.
Or who do you think is the most famous?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd have to like actually open my phone. Maybe Seacrest.
That's a good one.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
Who could you call right now and it wouldn't be weird? Not that we're going to have you do it. I'm just saying. Like if you...
Prove it. Prove it.
Who can I call that wouldn't be weird? I mean, everyone's going to be like, what the hell are you doing calling me?
But it wouldn't be like, who's this creepo?
I'm trying to think. Celebrity-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Dr. Drew. I think we have a really good relationship, so...
That doesn't suck to be able to say that.
Right?
That's really cool. Yeah. That's
when we've talked about this on our show before too, but when we went out there to Dr. Drew's house with another show, and we were in his house and recording there, and as we're leaving, I'm like, oh hey Dak, because you had said, hey, say hi to Drew for me. So I'm like, hey, Dak says hi, blah blah blah, and he goes, oh my gosh, I haven't seen him forever. Kristen and the kids, hopefully they're doing fine. I'm like, wait, no, it's Dax Holt, not Dax Shepard. And he's like, oh, Dax Holt, yeah, Dax Holt. Okay, I know too many Daxes. I'm like, yeah, you do.
And to assume you knew both of them.
Right.
And Pat has a message from Dax Shepard. Yes.
Yeah. No wonder he keeps answering my text. He thinks he's just got me under Dax on his phone.
Right? Probably.
That's it. That's
why we can't FaceTime.
That's awesome.
The amount of text messages, or not text messages, like tweets and stuff that I would get every time Kristen Bell would have a baby.
Oh my God.
I would get so many messages on Twitter like, congratulations. I'm like, guys, no, I'm not with Kristen Bell.
You're the first Dax that comes up alphabetically, so
pretty much.
Send. That's it. Yeah.
Well, Dax, thanks for you just left the gym, so thanks for post-workout chatting with us today.
Isn't that funny?
No problem. Yeah.
When we talked to Chris Kirkpatrick,
I'm in the car because it's like a sound booth in here. It's quiet, and I don't wake up my whole family. It
is funny. Circling back to Chris Kirkpatrick, he was just going to the gym when we got him on the phone, and he ended up spending the entire time talking to us, and he left his kid in the daycare at the gym, and then he went back out and sat in his car for the entire hour, and then he just went and got his kid and left.
Mm-hmm. Best workout ever.
So good.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we'll let you get to your day.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go chatting.
Hi, buddy.
You too.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
See ya.
Bye. Oh my God.
You can find Dax. It's just at Dax Holt everywhere. Twitter, not Dax Shepard, Dax Holt.
Absolutely.
And then Hollywood Raw podcast, HollywoodRaw.com. You can go to the website, and there's links everywhere to all the places you can
check
find your
in on
stuff.
that. Yeah. Absolutely. And the one thing I didn't get a chance to, and we were going to talk about it, but we didn't, but I want to throw it out there because it's going on right now. And if you get a chance, we'll put the link in the notes. One of my favorite weeks is going on right now, and it goes through Monday or Tuesday, I think. but you'll see some stories on it because we've talked about it almost every year. In Alaska, they have the Fat Bear Week, and they have a competition,
hilarious.
and they have the matchups are posted on their website, and there's a website that has live cams. And I think it's on explore.org is where it is. And they've got several cameras set up at all these locations where these fat bears are going out and just sitting in the middle of a stream and waiting for a fish to jump in their mouth.
God, that'd be the life, wouldn't it?
Oh
Just
my
laying
God.
in the middle of something and waiting for like a sandwich to just come by you. God.
These pictures are awesome, but these bears are getting huge. And they had the before and after on some, and there's a couple of them. I saw one of them posted. I mean, it looked like it was a balloon with 4 little legs sticking out, and just like
the fat horse on Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
If you're ever going to want to pet a wild bear, this is the time because they're not moving. You could totally outrun them. As long as you're wearing tennis shoes, you could totally outrun
This
them.
would be absolutely the best time. But
Yeah.
they've got these great cams, so we'll put that post up there so you can check it out and hit that link and see what's going on because it is really cool watching the bears, and they all congregate. They're all like in streams like where the little mini waterfalls are. Because that's where the fish are jumping.
Yeah.
And
why not lay down?
why
Brilliant.
not?
Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely cool. So, anywho.
Oh, you guys, thanks for watching on YouTube and Facebook Live. And if you're not, we do it every Friday at 9 o'clock. And then you can also find our podcast everywhere you find podcasts.
And a couple morning, John Oakey checked in this morning.
Hi, John.
He said good morning. And who else we got here? Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Thank you. Christina, the fat horse on Bugs Bunny. That's a great description. Christina.
Yeah. With the little pointy legs.
And Valeska. Oh, God, my husband has to have a beard. Otherwise, I feel like I'm dating a teenager.
Yeah. That's how I felt before when I had a
Baby
goatee.
face.
Like as soon as I shaved it, I didn't shave at all like clean from the time I was like 23 until recent, like 2 years ago. I'd have like stubble like I have now.
Yeah.
And goatee. As soon as I shaved, I felt like it looked like my dad and a 14-year-old version of my dad. So it was just really hard to process, but now I couldn't do it again.
That's funny. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Drop us a line, say hi. Every Friday. We're going to add some more of these.
We will. Yeah, we'll get there. Not the text in order. 402-403-9478. Thank you guys for listening and watching.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.